welcome back, everybody. Who Popped Your Culture is live before your naked, steaming eyes. Look at all the fucking people here tonight. It's me, Tommy, along with the back on the wagon,
Off
Muda.
the wagon. Hopped
Is
off
it on
today.
or off? I never know.
Cheers. Cheers,
Cheers.
viewers, young and
Cheers.
old.
Well, not too young.
Well,
Drink responsibly.
yes. Wait till you're of age and all that wonderful, happy stuff.
Good stuff. So we're here tonight. We are gonna kind of change it up a little bit. We talked about it. We were gonna do a Predator roundup, follow up. I guess we'll still kind of do that, but a lot of this is gonna be the bi-weeklies. Will be to cover everything that Heels and Quads Media has put out over the month, preview what's coming up next month, so on and so forth. Muda had this beautiful idea, which I love.
Yeah, it's a nice, wonderful workaround for all the material that we don't have for a second show for Who Pops.
Yeah. Well, because you were like, before we started, you were telling me about how you always feel like we try to bundle it all into 1 hour, but you feel like there's so much we leave on the table and then when you think about it, you're like, we really can't fill another show with.
No.
I mean, we could, but then you think about it, you got to watch all those movies again.
Right, all the movies and or do the research as far as the supplementary stuff like this. Like we touched on it in the first episode or in the first Predator episode, where like all the surrounding lore and material, books, comic books, you got fan shorts, which obviously aren't canon, but you got video games,
Right.
the way that they worked in AVP and stuff like that. It's technically not canon.
And some of those fan films are really good too.
Have you ever seen Batman versus Predator fan film?
Have I seen that one? I don't know if I've seen that one.
We're probably going back. I think it was somewhere around 04, 05. This thing came out. This is like pre-YouTube. Buddy of mine picked it up at a con.
Probably saw it. Yeah, but
he picked it up at a con, but it was like they got a guy who is a bodybuilder dude, so like he didn't have to put on body armor for Batman.
Oh, nice.
Like they put him in like kind of more or less like I wouldn't even like the pre-Adam West TV Batman kind of.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah.
but it the way he was built,
the stereo Batman suit.
Yeah, he looked like he was wearing all the body armor and stuff like that. Like all they carved the musculature into the Batman armor and stuff. So he looked the part. They put him in a leather cape. So that way, like he would do, like one of the shots is he jumps down from a high spot, lands in a puddle, and the cape lands flat. And then like he does they did it in the cartoon all the time, where he would kind of like slowly stand up and the cape would just gather around him. And that was the Batman presentation. And next thing you know, here comes the fucking the three laser dots, and then they're getting ready to square off, and then next thing you know, xenomorphs pop in. Like I think it's like 5 minutes long, but it's so well done, like, and it kind of goes to the point where it goes to the whole point of there was so little.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had so much in print, but there was nothing else video wise.
Right.
So people took it upon themselves and they made some damn fine stuff. And it was I don't know what a Batman versus Predator versus Alien movie is going to like come out, especially if put a big studio behind it, a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about.
People don't know their asshole from their elbow.
Yeah. There's tons of stuff. And and that's the kind of stuff that I imagined that this episode would be about, like where you just talk about all that. But then we've been busy with Riding the Pine. The first time we ever attempted a weekly show, and so far we've been
pretty consistent. Yeah.
3 now?
3 in, yeah.
Jesus.
And then next week, we decided last night we're going to do 2 next week for the draft, Friday and Saturday night. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. Yes. Levi and I put out the Metallica show on Tuesday. So that consumed the beginning of my week. And then it's like all sports. And then this was kind of like it was. It's never on the back burner, like in my
Mhm.
mind, but it's like, hello, boys. Hello, Ashley.
Hey, Ashley. Thanks
Nice,
for watching.
Tommy. Thank you. Thank you. Um, but it's like, especially this week with 3 podcasts,
Mhm.
I was like, holy shit, man, my plate is full. Plus, a job, plus my wife's job, plus 3 kids. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Busy. That time of year, man. Like I said earlier, we were texting. Once baseball season starts, that consumes my world pretty much.
It's fair. Like that's the for me. It's that I get. I watch. I don't watch all the teams, but like I watch every Mets game that I can get my hands on.
Right.
Fucking
When
and
you're usually in the studio, you're usually on the computer editing shit.
well,
You're
I
the
mean, there's that too. And then I work. Not only do I work full 40 plus hours, it's at night, so I get like maybe an hour a day that I can do anything Monday through Thursday.
right.
And then then I have to cram it all in on the weekend. So it's like things are tight. And then also, I mean, it's golf season for me.
Right. Yeah.
It's like that's my exercise
Well,
is like
yeah.
getting out in the sun and shit
I
like that.
think
So
that
it's
what was it? The first ride in the pine. I think we were kind of like waiting on you to get back from the golf course,
yeah,
and then last week you guys were waiting on me because I had kid baseball practice, which of course always goes over. I don't know why they don't just say it's going to be 3 hours.
yeah. It's funny that we choose to do this considering. So we got from pretty much the end of October until the end of January, we can't do shit because of holidays, and then within a couple of months, the world opens up as far you got baseball, golf season, fucking vacations.
Mm-hmm.
You got the kids' vacations, so that way as soon as the summer vacation hits, your house is probably chaos
Oh, it's
more than
wild,
it
man.
already is. Yeah,
I want to go swimming. I want to go swimming.
yeah.
Why
It's
don't we have anything to eat? Yeah,
an
there's plenty to
interesting
eat.
an interesting decision that we've made that we
Yeah.
want to do a public show more than once a week.
Yeah, but it's still fun. It's our little kind of getaway, and
Yeah,
and
I
we're
mean,
whores. We're whores for ourselves.
correct.
Yeah. I would use the term marks, but I try to stay away from those wrestling terms these days.
Yes, yeah,
And
yeah.
now I'm watching the Devils and Rangers game 3. Third period is about to end right now. So that's the end of regulation. We're going to overtime.
Okay.
Tied up 1-1. They're in the Garden. Aaron Judge is in the house in a Rangers jersey, so that hurts a little bit, but I get it. I get it.
Well, yeah, you can't
You can't
be
wear a Devils
you can't be a
jersey.
Yankee and wear a Devils jersey. You can't even be a Mets. You can't be a Met and wear a Devils jersey.
Yeah, I get it.
And hell, I feel worse for them because they, if the Met goes to a hockey game, they got to wear an Islanders jersey.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, back. I was gonna say something about fan films. I watched a really good Halloween one not too long ago, and I don't know how old it was. It was on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like somewhere between like 15 and 20 minutes, but it was
Sure.
really well done. I was like, wow, this is like primo quality. It's amazing what we can do just on our iPhones now.
Yeah. Which also begs the question, why does it take?
Thank you.
Why does it take? We could use all the marks we can get.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell your friends, tell your enemies.
It's considering we all have the power to make a high definition film.
4K.
Yeah. And this studio's just still
Half-ass shit.
fuck around and make horrible movies and spend hundreds of millions of dollars in the process.
Yeah.
It's just like you could have done this on an iPhone, edited it in post because you're going to do that anyway because it's all digital already.
Right.
And yeah, you could have done this on a fucking iPhone.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
But was it a? Did it add any kind of like little pepper on top?
No, it was basically like it was just like a kill, basically, or well, 2 kills. But he shows up at this couple's house, and they're shooting the shit, and obviously about to go make Whoopi upstairs, and the guy's like, "Oh, I gotta go do something in the shed or whatever." He goes out there, and of course, Michael gets him, and he's pinned to the fucking like picket fence or whatever. And then the girl goes looking for her husband because she can't, like, she's yelling for him, he's not answering and stuff. So she goes out there, and then she sees his dead body, and then she turns around and sees Michael, and then she takes off through like the woods and shit, and like she's like covering herself with leaves and all this shit, and he gets her. Yeah, it's just a cool like little bonus kill, you know.
Sure. I mean, it's like if it's well done, then it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's always it's the fan films that usually draw my eye are the ones like kind of like ones I was talking about with take three properties that they, even though comic books have existed with Batman, Predator, and the aliens in them, like it's just cool to see that done live action.
Yeah, it's like the Freddy, Jason, Ash one that we've all been wanting to see that movie, and probably never going to get it now because Bruce Campbell's obviously older. I mean, he could still do it. We saw with Ash versus Evil Dead, but he's still in great shape, man.
Yes, he is, and it's
he's getting more handsome by the day, which makes me sick.
The way that the properties keep changing hands, or specifically the Evil Dead franchise, like you never know.
Have you seen the new one yet?
Actually, wife and I are going tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Let me know how it is.
We'll do. I've
heard it's really good. Yeah.
So I'm excited for
it. The previews are fucking weird, dude. The mom being all possessed and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's wild looking.
So yeah, it takes a lot. Takes a lot for me to go to the theater. The last movie I saw in the theater was Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's it's with the cost to get in, like, and knowing that 45 days later it's going to be on streaming anyway.
Yeah, that's like me, man. Take the whole family to a movie. It's
Christmas.
$150, $200 easy.
Yeah, it's too much.
And that's not including dinner before,
right.
Yeah,
that's it, and that's it too, because it's never just the movie.
Yeah,
like like we're it was enough to get us out of the house, and since we're out of the house already, we may as well like go get lunch or dinner or whatever.
Yeah. But, are you guys doing afternoon, or are you going in the evening?
2:40 p.m. show. So, and when we bought the tickets, none of the other seats have been filled yet. So, we're kind of hoping that we get the whole theater to ourselves.
That'd be nice, dude. I'm trying to think the last time that happened. I know I've been to a couple of movies like that, but yeah, I haven't been to a movie since Rise of Skywalker.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. That was the last one. It was just me, Amanda, and little Tommy.
That'd be enough to get me to stop going to the movies altogether.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, it's not. It wasn't. It wasn't great.
I disagree wholeheartedly. But yeah, like it's a chore. So far, right now, there's only 2 movies that I'm even remotely thinking about for 2023 that I would go and see in the theater. One, Evil Dead. So we're gonna scratch that one off, but then The Machine.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna say that's the next movie. Amanda even said she's already said we're going to see that in the theater.
Yeah, I've been. I don't know how long ago it's been since I first saw that stand up. Yeah, but I'm all about it. Like I'm not even that big of a fan of Bert Kreischer nowadays.
Love it.
Like he's entertaining, but as far as his stand up goes, like I don't. Pretty much since that first stand-up, there's only been a couple of like spots where I laughed, and the rest.
I loved the new one that's on Netflix now. I thought it was great. Earlier, but yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
Like Bert Kreischer to me is a more than anything else, he is an outlet for Tom Segura hilarity. Like
when they make each other laugh, that gets me going.
Like Bert, I don't. That's where it is too. You just leave Bert to his own devices, and he'll make me laugh.
Yeah,
but his rehearsed stand-up routines generally don't, and it's usually Tom, like kind of walking him into a bear trap.
Yeah, he kind of prods him into it.
Yeah, he just walks him to the edge, and they lets him fucking jump off, and then and then he cracks himself up in the process, and that's usually enough to get me to like guffaw and belly laugh. But Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for it. You know, that was.
Dude, Mark Hamill is playing his dad.
I know.
Luke Skywalker is playing his dad. That's so fucking awesome, dude.
I remember, like, when I first heard that he
and the
was
trailer is fucking hilarious. I hope. And Bert said we didn't put all the funny shit in the trailer like a lot of movies do, which is great.
Getting the kid from American Scandal season 1 to play the younger version of him.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, I mean the only other option was me, and I was busy, so I had to turn it down.
I missed that show too. That was really good. The first season especially, American Scandal.
Yeah, I saw. I want to say I saw like the first episode, but it takes a lot to rope me into a series.
Sure, like I didn't know what the hell I was watching.
Yeah, it's so time consuming now because you're gonna, especially now with the Netflix and Hulu when they release it all at once. I'm gonna sit there and watch the whole thing day one.
And
that Pen 15 show on Hulu, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I loved that show, and I fucking binged the fuck out of it. Big Mouth. Mm-hmm. Every time a new season of that. F is for Family, same thing. Bill Burr, hilarious. But yeah, it takes a lot, and I'm a big animated adult comedy guy, so because it's so easy to digest, and they can do so much with it. What's the other one I like? Paradise PD. I fucking watched that one. Oh, it's on Netflix, dude. It's hilarious, dude. It is so fucking funny. You will love it. It's like Brickleberry. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah,
it's the same guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of it. I usually wind up just going back and starting Archer over again.
I do that a lot too. That's that smart, adult comedy.
It's the I could listen to H. John Benjamin do voices all day.
Oh my god, I love him, dude.
Do his voice all day.
I just actually got caught up on Bob's Burgers the other night because I'd been behind.
I'm probably 3 seasons behind. I
love that fucking show. Movie's good. Movie was good. I mean, we're kind of talking about pop culture, so
yeah.
There is one thing I did watch on Friday. No, yesterday was Friday. Thursday? I don't remember. Whatever day it came out. The new Power Rangers thing they did on Netflix.
Just added it. Haven't watched it
yet. Yikes.
Yeah?
Yikes.
I mean, go back and watch. Yeah, from what I could see from the clip that they played when you hover over it, like it's just as bad as the OG show.
Yeah.
So like it's honestly I didn't expect it because none of those actors got better except for maybe Amy Jo.
Yeah, and she's not even in it.
Yeah, none of them got better as actors.
Yeah.
In the interim, mostly because they didn't really fucking do anything.
Right.
I think the guy that played Zach showed up in some stuff, but other than
he's been in
Joe Johnson.
He's been in some shit.
Like I know the later seasons launched some careers. That I can't never remember her name, but that show iZombie, she was a Power Ranger.
Yeah. But yeah, if you go into it like in the mentality you're watching the old school TV show, it's fine. But if you're going in expecting like some like big dramatic masterpiece, because like I started watching it and Amanda watched like the first 10 minutes. She was like, "This is fucking stupid. I'm going to bed." I was like,
it's really a shame. Did you ever read any of the
comics,
the Boom comics?
Yeah, those were good.
That was a phenomenal series.
Yeah,
and it it went dark. Like they made that very clearly with the original audience in mind.
Yeah,
like the original cast storyline audience. So whatever, like that came out 15 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Like all of the their target audience was people that were like in their 20s to early 30s.
Yeah, our age.
Yeah, I mean like back then. And
back then,
I found it. Fuck. I don't know. It was a couple. It's like year and a half, 2 years, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was fairly recent because I remember you telling me that you found it.
Yeah, it took a seriously dark turn, and it was glorious. And if they could have done something like that, obviously, very clearly, um, they can't now because Tommy as the Green
Yeah.
Ranger and White Ranger was the kind of the crux of the whole arc.
Right.
But yeah, it's a shame that they never did that. But I can also understand, Saban aiming the
Now Hasbro
well,
bought it. Yeah.
either or, their target audience was always children.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, that was the best we could hope for. And honestly, the scope of that comic book series was way too massive for anybody attached to Saban to make with any kind of like seriousness, like sincerity or integrity.
Yeah.
Because it would have all been like really shitty green screen effects.
Yeah, that comic, and then I really enjoy like the Batman 66 run and the Batman 89 that started I think last year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, those comics are so awesome. The way they just kind of like pick up where it left off, you know.
Where the TV or movie or whatever.
And in the Batman 89 you get Billy D. Williams as Two-Face and all that shit. So it's fucking cool.
It's hilarious to me, right? Like both DC and Marvel have been to say suffering would be an understatement.
Yeah.
Over the last few years, like the comics, they tried to rope in a market that couldn't have given less of a shit about comic books and superheroes, and they literally just go to the movies 2 or 3 times a year, sit down for 2.5 hours, and that they're done until the next one.
Yeah.
So like the stories have just fallen off, and now you can't even they're not even recognizable.
Yeah, I will say it's cool though, because like the DC app or whatever that they have you can pay for the subscription, you can read all the old comics. That's fucking cool as hell, man.
That's great. That's all good and fine.
Because I love it. I'm going to take a shit and I can read a comic,
Dude, that was the thing. Like as I got older, like even though I loved horror movies, I couldn't get into horror comics.
Yeah.
As a younger guy. So there's like this whole especially in DC, I mean and Marvel to an extent, but like in DC there's this whole Batman, as fantastical as that idea is, it fucking it's still somewhat grounded in reality because he doesn't have superpowers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which I think is what I like about him, honestly.
Sure.
He's just a rich dude with a bunch of gadgets.
And then even with Superman being an alien and Flash getting like struck by lightning or being
Ashley's got a great comment right here.
Yes.
Good shit, man.
The last Ronin series, that's Kevin Eastman. That's the OG. That's the guy who, there's a reason it's so good, and it's because he's the one who penned it. And it again, just bringing it right back, like the idea of just picking up, and even with him, it's that the last Ronin takes place in the future and all that stuff. But it's grounded in the reality that he created with Peter Laird back in the 80s. Very dark. And it's all it's just fucking awesome, just cool. And what the hell was I saying? Oh, the horror comics, in the mystical part of the DC universe. Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
I loved the movies as a kid.
Yeah,
I loved the 2 movies, and I loved the TV show that they made. And yeah, like somewhere in the last 5-6 years, like Swamp Thing is my favorite fucking comic book character now. Like
really?
never in my life, if somebody went back in time and told younger me, and they're like, when you're an old piece of shit, Swamp Thing's going to be your favorite comic book character, and I would have been like, never.
He's just covered in seaweed.
And and the DC Universe app allowed me to go back and watch or listen, or not watch or listen, read the original Len Wein. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He was the guy who created Swamp Thing.
Did you
and then
see
also
the
Alan
show
Moore.
that just came
Yes.
out? Was
Oh,
it
I
good?
fucking loved it.
Was it
And it
good?
was
Okay, I'll watch it. I was waiting for somebody to tell me about it.
Watch it, even though there's no resolution, and like it's a cliffhanger because it was meant to carry on.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like this whole fucking drama with North Carolina. Like North Carolina promised them a certain percentage tax cut. Like I'm pretty sure it was like a 50%. Like they were essentially.
Well, that's where a lot of movies and stuff are filmed now. Like the new Halloween series was filmed there.
They were going to give. They were supposed to. They were supposed to make an $80 million shooting budget, $40 million with a tax cut, and then after they'd already spent it, they pulled the deal. So they were.
So that's why it didn't work out.
So yeah, they
did one season.
They killed the entire budget. Like, and that's why. Like, the thing drives me crazy. It's not even on HBO Max right now.
Oh, that stinks.
And I don't know if it's because they're not shooting a second season.
Was it on CW?
They aired it on CW after the fact, but it was originally a DC Universe exclusive.
Oh, okay.
Because like the DC or was Swamp Thing, Titans.
Yeah, because originally DC Universe was the app that I had, and then it moved to HBO Max.
They had one or two other shows that were DC Universe exclusives, and then that's I can't. That's the soundest logic that I can think of. Ashley.
Yeah,
like it's why not?
And
not
Turtles,
to mention
the new animated movie's coming out.
And I hear that there is a live action in the works.
Yeah. And Last Ronin, I believe, is getting a video game.
Either video game. I think they're trying to figure out how to work that into a series or a movie.
Is it a series?
Well.
Okay.
But it's
I'm
printing
pretty
money.
Sure it's a video game at least, but I feel like I heard that they're talking about doing a show or a movie as well.
Ninja Turtles is printed money.
Yes. It's never going to go away. There's always that new generation. My kids loved it.
I'm not looking forward to the Seth Rogen one.
I'll probably go see that.
I don't particularly care for the character designs. They did make them shorter.
Mm-hmm.
A little more.
Not so Michael Bay.
Well, not even forget about Michael Bay. Even the original one. You know what I mean? Like they were all. Everybody in the suits were fairly diminutive.
Yeah, but
they were still fairly tall. And what are they? They're supposed to be like 3.5 feet tall, something like that.
Something like
4 feet tall tops in the comic book. Like, but yeah, Ninja Turtles printed money.
Mm-hmm.
At no point is it a bad idea to make a Ninja Turtles movie, even if it's shit. Even if a Ninja Turtles movie is absolute dog shit,
it's still going to make money. Yep.
Everybody who hate the hate watchers alone will make their money for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll ever do it. It took me many years before I watched Out of the Shadows, and only because I wanted to see Bebop and Rocksteady on a quasi live action.
I'll give it to Seamus, man. We talked about it in the Turtles episode, but Seamus did a fucking good job, man. I know that we want to talk about some stuff that we've done this month, so we need to kind of move it along.
Right on. Either way, yes, there's too many stories. Oh, to wrap it up, because I did have a point. Man, I forgot how talkative alcohol makes me.
It will do that.
So, on the topic of because I'm pretty sure it was Boom Studios who did the 66 Batman and the 89 Batman, definitely is responsible for the Power Rangers comic book and stuff like that. I really think Warner and both Warner and Disney seriously need to consider just licensing their comic book properties out to to actual whole grown ass adult comic book creators, because the things that they're both doing now, it's not bringing in new audiences, and it's fucking alienating the pre-existing audience. And you look at the success of 66 Batman, 89 Batman, and Power Rangers, and even though those things happened, more than half a decade ago, like, that success was there. And
we're the ones with that extra money now.
Sure.
Buying that, like, that's like buying old toys and all the shit that we either had and got rid of or never got. Now we have that money to go out and buy it.
Sure.
And to add to that, today I was looking on McFarlane Toys because they do the DC figures.
Yep.
I was going to get the Michael Keaton Batman from the Flash movie.
Looks pretty good.
Sold out.
Yeah, it looks pretty
the
good.
7-inch is sold out, so I'm going to have to cough up the extra 20 and pay the 40 for the 12-inch, which I don't mind.
And
I'll have it back
to that. I'd like to see the numbers on the orders to see who too. like.
Well, his is the only one sold out.
Goddamn well the Batman one is going.
Yeah, it's already sold out.
Meanwhile, your I don't even remember his name anymore. He was in the news forever, but
yeah,
the kid that's playing the Flash.
Yeah,
like any Flash action figure of him is going to be sitting on shelves like crazy. All the Zack Snyder verse toys and stuff like that. Nobody gives a shit. You put Michael Keaton in the Batsuit, it's going off. It's going.
9 out of 10 people that are going to see that movie, which I will be there, are going to see Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yes.
If not 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And yeah. It's the formula's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want, and don't treat them like idiots.
Yeah, and they have a good history of doing that.
Even idiots don't like to be treated like idiots.
Yeah.
So it's easy peasy. So all right. So we already covered our coverage of Predator with a little extra.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. What we talked about before we started, me and Levi did the Metallica show. You said you had some stuff you wanted to add to that.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that, and you were telling me that in your preparation for the Heels and Quads episodes, and how closely you have to listen to all that stuff, and how you just get worn out. And then I think my first comment was that I would have been worn out just at the top, the task of having to listen to the new Metallica album.
I think the only one that didn't wear me out so far was the Cure episode, because I'm still just burning Cure like all the time in the house all day.
That's fair.
It's so good, man.
I don't know when the last time the Cure released an album, but it's a
should be this year. We're supposed to get a new one.
No shit.
Yeah, I've heard 4 of the new songs are really good.
But like it's I mean, for the most part, their catalog is so classic that it's kind of it's.
And even the shit that people don't know, like the first record, the first 3 records before "Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me" came out. And a lot of people don't even know those records. Like "Pornography" is a great fucking record.
Yeah, but it's. What the hell else we were saying? Oh yeah, we were talking about Bob Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the only really real comment I have about that is, back in the day when Bob Rock did the Black Album, he was polishing a very rough Metallica. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you Kill 'Em All, Master, Ride the Lightning, Justice for All. So you had 2 or 4 very, like, even as good as they were very, like, Bay Area thrash metal
raw
records.
Yeah.
And then you get Bob Rock, a fucking
and Justice
dynamo.
for All had a little more production with like One and stuff like that, but
one would argue that Injustice for All had way too much production.
Yeah.
And by James and Lars.
Yeah.
So and then you get these more or less know nothings in the Metallica band itself, and then you get saddled with a producer who actually knows what the fuck they're doing, and he took them from a tape traded local band that has somehow managed to get out to the world, and then made them a radio friendly band.
Yeah.
And at any given point in the night when I'm at work, there's a very old fashioned clock radio in the bathroom, because it's like an eerily silent bathroom. It makes everybody uncomfortable, so we put the radio in there. The local rock station, all throughout the night, at any given moment, you can go in there and you can hear something off the Black Album. So Bob Rock did his job.
Yeah.
By the time they got to Saint Anger, you couldn't tell Metallica what to do.
No.
Not even
Bob
everything. Rock. Not even Bob Rock could tell Metallica what to do. Lars decided to trade out his snare drum for a fucking garbage can. And then it's been off to the races for them, and they're in their very rapid decline, as if they didn't already take a big enough hit on Load and Reload.
Yeah. And like I told you, like, for what they've put out since Saint Anger, this is a good Metallica album. It's not great, but it's good. It's and me and Levi both beat the drums to hell and back. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just so much, and it's just so simplistic. Like, he doesn't do anything.
I was just like, I'd like to say that I'd give it a shot, but I'd probably be lying.
I would listen to a couple of tracks and just see, like,
I just don't know if I can. I've been so out. The Load and Reload, they were kind of, well, the Black Album was my first Metallica record.
Right. Like most of us, that was.
Right. And then Load and Reload came out, and you told everybody you liked it because it's a Metallica album.
Right.
And that's what's cool when you're fucking 11 and 12 years old. But like, they're just subpar. Yeah. The cleaner James vocals got, it's just, everything got, I don't know. It's not, I'm a big thrash guy. Like, I love thrash metal. Mm-hmm. And then you take, like, they're not a thrash band anymore. And when they try to go back to those roots, it's just not good. What happens. It's just not good. And yeah, I don't think it's too difficult. It's too difficult for me because I remember everything that was awesome before.
Yeah. And then last night we had the sports show.
Yes, we had a very interesting sports show.
The first 35 minutes, we probably should have just called it.
I think we got a good 10 minutes of actual sports talk in there. And then we had 35 minutes of sports insults.
Yeah.
And
Eric popping in from the hotel room in Philly was classic. One, he couldn't open his eyes. It
seemed like there was a blood feud between him and Uncle Dan there for a second.
Well, he was chiming off in the fucking comments.
Yeah,
before he even showed up.
But that's why we love him.
Yeah, and it was fun. And then, Dan went off the fucking rails as per usual. And then we ended it, and then me and Dan sat here for another probably half hour and just shot the shit. And
did he just like gradually?
Oh, it was like
sink into his desk.
It was like, yeah, he could see the abyss, I think. And I'm just like, oh man, it's time to call it, man. You gotta go.
But yeah, man, the Ride in the Pine's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny is that, like, thinking about the show, I have a lot of things that I would like to talk about, but in the nature, like the nature of professional sports, everything happens so fast and moves so quickly, and like something that would be big news one day is fucking overshadowed by something dumb the next day.
Right.
And
Well, and
so
that
by
was
the
like me
time,
even trying to like update like the wins and the scores and shit. Like I
yeah,
was trying something new, and it could work like that, but it's
yeah,
just a matter of like I have to be able to keep up with it, and that's why I've mentioned before, like once we get it kind of going, there's a flow, I can step back and just kind of produce it and
sure.
pop the stats up and shit like that. Because I mean, that's kind of why I brought you everybody in is like we're all friends.
Hmm.
I trust all you guys, so I can kind of like, here you go. Here's something for you guys to do. And I mean, obviously if I'm available, I want to be there, but like there are going to be times where I'm just like I can't do it.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
and not for nothing, wrangling our buddies is difficult.
It is, especially right now with my phone being a real piece of shit. I'm
Yeah,
waiting on my new SIM card. It should be here Tuesday.
but I, I
Which
just mean,
surprisingly it was
I just mean
free.
live.
Yeah. Oh
Free
yeah,
by that,
that
I just
true.
mean
Yeah,
live.
that too. Yeah.
Wrangling our co-hosts there on Riding the Pine is
There was a couple of things that I wish weren't said,
yeah.
but I'm not gonna go through and edit. It's just,
No, let it live.
you can clearly see that I said, "Hey, don't say that."
Yeah,
So,
let it live.
and also people have to take it with a grain of salt. It's all a big joke anyways. And also when had a little alcohol, your inhibitions kind of
Oh yeah,
fall by the wayside. So things happen. Things
and
get
when
said.
and when you and when you've had a lot of alcohol, they just go out the window altogether.
Especially in a short amount of time.
It's good. I like to think that I learned my lesson.
Hey, the Devils win.
Oh shit, they
Woo!
took one. Can't say I'm
At
happy
the
about it.
Garden.
Can't say I'm happy about it. Ever since they had the best ever fucking luck in the draw, or the draw for the draft lottery.
Lottery, yeah.
What was it? Was it 2 years in a row, or was it just twice in 3 years?
I want to say it was twice in 3 years.
Because they got the number one spot, especially. Okay, so whatever, crucify me if you want to, Flyers fan.
Right.
So the year that the Flyers, the first year the Flyers had the best chance at a number one draft pick, in a long time, and they fucking needed it.
Yeah.
They got number two. So they lost. The fuck was it? Was it Hischier? I think it was Hischier. He's one of your studs, right? Younger guy, drafted in the last 5-6 years. Was a number one draft pick. Pretty sure it was Hischier. Anyway, so he goes first. He goes first to the Devils. They didn't fucking need him. And then, yeah.
Now, we've been dog shit for a while.
But then 2 years later, again, luck of the fucking draw, get the number two, and they get Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like rubbing our faces and shit. Like, like as Flyers fans, we just needed that little bit of help. We took Nolan Patrick at number two that first year, and it was talk about a goddamn, I don't wish any ill will on the kid. He's got a hard enough time with his fucking migraine disorder, but you could see the star in him, but then he couldn't be out in a stadium because the lights would trigger his migraines.
Ugh.
Or stadium, arena, whatever.
Dude, that shit's tough too, man. In the last 5 years, I've like kind of started getting migraines, and they're rough.
Yeah, I've had a few, and it like I said, I'm not wishing, like, not damning the eyes of Nolan Patrick because he has the rotten luck of having a migraine disorder.
Yeah.
Which was probably brought on by fucking CTE.
Probably.
Because that kid took, just in the first couple of games of the season, took a couple of knocks to the fucking coconut.
Yeah.
And, that were just like terrible. And so, all well to the kid, and I hope he's able to do something with hockey, because obviously he trained his entire life to do it. But we had the rotten luck of losing a potential fucking star, and also, and we lost also to the the draft to fucking the Devils, which right across the fucking Delaware. Like if it was a different, if somebody in the Western Conference wound up getting the number one draft pick, it wouldn't have hurt nearly as bad.
Right.
But you have all those teams in that tri-state area,
so many
that we just and we all just hate each other's fan bases. So yeah, that close. If the Rangers got them, we'd have been just as salty, certainly salty if the Penguins got them. But either way, yeah. Ever since then, like the Devils were my team in my youth.
Really?
Because of Martin Brodeur, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Marty's the man.
Because I played goal, so naturally I idolized the best goalie to ever live.
Yeah.
And broke my father's heart. He was a Rangers fan. So he was like,
I'm with you, man. My dad's a Rangers fan too.
He's like, come on. And then but then after, falling out of the sport for a while, I came back and I was just like, I don't care about the Devils. Like Martin Brodeur was on his way out.
Yeah.
Then they
that weird season he played in St. Louis.
Yeah, I think he played like 5 or 6 games for St. Louis, and then they put him in the front office.
Yeah.
Like you put fucking Martin Brodeur in a goddamn suit and put him in a cubicle. Come on now. But yeah, I can't say I'm happy that they won, but I'd say the same thing if the Rangers won that game.
Right. Hey, either way, you're not happy about it.
I've been out ever since the fucking man. The Flyers have been letting me down. I can't. My blood pressure.
I've been out for a few years, man. I kept up all season because the Devils started hot and they kind of held on to it. They the third best record in the league, I think. And I was like, I kept like contemplating, should I start watching the games? And I'm like, I'm gonna let them do their thing. But come playoff time, I'm watching these games, and I haven't missed one of the 3. And I was kind of like thinking, shit, maybe I shouldn't have started watching. But now since I watched tonight, they won. So maybe I don't have as much bad luck as I thought I did.
I don't get invested in any other sport as much as I get invested in hockey. Like hockey's the only sport I can watch without having any money on the line.
Yeah.
And act like I do. And lots of money.
Right.
Like I get very emotionally invested in it, and maybe that's a sign of my own emotional immaturity. I don't know. But until I get, and it's not even a matter of like bandwagoning. I have a Flyers tattoo. I'm in. I'm in for life. Orange and black. That's me. But I can't give them any of my attention until they show some sign of actually trying to be better.
Yeah, show me a sign of life and we'll talk.
Like a 500 team.
Yeah.
I could watch a 500 team. I could go in expecting them to lose, not be too terribly disappointed if they do, be pleasantly surprised if they win. But if it's it gets worse the better they do. Like the better they play and the more they win, like every loss hurts so much more. And and like I said, my blood pressure, like I've got my blood, like every time I go to the doctor, I'm cool as a cucumber, and my doctor's always like, you should be in a lot worse shape than you're in. And I'm like, well, thank you. I'll continue down this path. But when I watch hockey, I'm like, I have the blood pressure of a like 40-year-old or a 40-year career alcoholic, the capillaries burst in the nose type fucking rosy dude. And
that's me with the Jets.
Good. Yeah.
And that's kind of why, like baseball's always my number one. And Amanda always debates with me. She says that she thinks that I love the Jets more than I love the Yankees. And I said, I think it's a 1A, 1B thing because football season's so short compared to baseball season. So it's playoff baseball. That's a different fucking story because she's seen me fucking on the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And, especially like this season with the Jets, they were pretty promising, especially early. And then now the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, and like, what do you think about it? I'm like, you know what? If it happens, great. If it doesn't, we're going to throw Zach Wilson out there again,
Yep.
So it is what it is. But we can talk football next week because we're doing 2 shows, Friday and Saturday night,
Yep.
live. We'll talk the first and second round of the draft, and then Saturday, I guess we would have like through third and fourth, third and fourth. I think they do 3, 4 Saturday, 6, 7 Sunday, right? Something like that.
You know better than me.
Yeah. All right. Anything else I'm forgetting?
We did that, and then yes. So not next week. Next week we're doubling up on riding the pine. The following week, first Saturday in April, May, we will be doing our usual hoop hop deep dive into the Alien franchise.
That will be May 6th.
Yes, May 6th, and
A week before my birthday.
I'll tell you right now. This is the week before my birthday. See, so Predator is that's my franchise.
Yeah.
It just worked out naturally this way. But yeah, Predator's my franchise, my birthday fucking present to myself is talking about Predator with you. Next month we'll do Alien for your birthday.
Yeah.
And then
I'm actually excited to watch all the aliens again.
I already started. I hadn't watched them in a long time, and
you sent me a picture.
I watched the third one for the first time in a very long time. I don't think I'd seen Alien
I'm excited
3.
to hear your thoughts on the third one.
I hadn't watched Alien 3 probably since the mid 90s.
Wow. Well, I watched it because I bought the Blu-ray set for me and the kids, and we watched all of them.
And I started looking into I went in a little deep. Trying to find. Well, I was trying to find it for free, and I was unsuccessful.
I don't even know what it's streaming on. Is it on Prime?
They're all on Stars right now. So
okay.
Yeah. And I have the Stars channel on Prime.
Yeah.
But
me too.
Specifically, I was looking for the
director's cut.
Yes, the original script. The original. I know there was multiple, but there's one that is lauded as the one that really should have been made. And I really wanted to read that. I've been trying to find it, but
it's somewhere on the internet. You'll find it.
I don't want to buy a physical copy of it. It's kind of one of those things where I feel like if I could like get it for a decent price on Kindle, I'd be fine with it. And I'm probably just going to read it once anyway.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see like the changes that would have been made, and watching it, like, yeah, man. I mean, we'll get into it a lot deeper, but like, I've had more or less almost 30 years of like shit talk piled on that movie. So I went into it thinking, I'm like, man, like, I was just like, this is just going to be a fucking just absolute dog shit. And you know what? It ain't that bad.
And it surprises you.
I had a harder time because I still haven't gotten all the way through it yet. I had a harder time getting into Resurrection. And I remember loving that movie when it came out.
I loved it when it came out, and then second, like later on when I got the set, I was like,
I've got my feelings about it. We'll talk about it on the 6th. I don't want to give away too much, but we're having a good time. Good times on Heels and Quads Media channel.
Yes, mudamerch.com for all the hoop hops, and I'm sure we'll get some more Riding the Pine stuff out.
Yeah, that's on me.
I mean, that's in your time, you just kind of get it out whenever you can.
It's usually when I get a wild hair up my ass about a particular design.
Because you'll text me a random design that
hence the Uncle Dan design, and as involved as it was in its creation. But yeah, man, we're firing here. I just hope we can carry on because I enjoy it.
And if you're enjoying it, patreon.com/heelsandquads. This coming week is the monthly hangout. Levi will be there. He doesn't do the weeklies with me, and I didn't do a weekly because I did 3 podcasts this week. So yeah, that was kind of like I had to like break something, and the weekly isn't technically a thing. I just do it to kind of keep everybody happy.
Sure.
But yeah, the monthly, it'll be me, Levi. Muda will be working, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Eric will be there. Dan probably won't be there, but you'll get to see the cast of characters that are there with us every week.
You might find yourself in the know on some of the inside jokes.
Oh man,
that manifest themselves on mudamerch.com. There's a lot of stuff that you look at it and you'd be like, why would anybody make this?
No bullshit.
Generally speaking, that's why.
No bullshit. The hangouts are some of the funnest fucking days of the week. I'm not even like, tooting my own fucking horn. I'm telling you, I legitimately have a good time every time, except when I don't drink.
Yeah, that's
a little rough when everybody else is having a good time and I'm just like, ugh.
That's my apology to anybody who might have watched anything that we've put out in the last month and I've been a little quiet. I generally require a little social lubricant.
Well, also with Uncle Dan on Riding the Pun, it's hard to get a word in edgewise.
It's very true. It's very true.
But that's why we love him.
Right. He, like without Uncle Dan, that show would, I mean, it probably would have been like the last 10 minutes of you and I talking hockey and me talking about my history and my medical issues while watching hockey. Like,
yeah.
It'd be, and at least with Uncle Dan, you can get some fucking betting lines.
Yeah, right. And a couple of laughs, a couple of chuckles. Yeah, so we're doing the draft next week, and then the following week we're gonna do all of the hot topics, and then also we're gonna each do our top 5 favorite sports memories in our lifetimes. So on that note, we will end tonight's broadcast.
Don't forget the spinner.
Yes, don't forget the spinner. And anything else? I think we got everything.
No, I think that's it. One more time, mudamerch.com, represent, let everybody know that you're a Hoop Hop fan, even though they will have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but you'll be in on the joke.
Tell them about it.
Yes, there is always that. Word of mouth is a great.
If you wear the merch and you love what we do, you're a walking billboard for the shows.
We love you for it.
Yes, we do love you.
I just want to say thank you for Ashley for watching and chiming in. Anybody who watches after the fact, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell,
share, all that shit.
And
these will eventually come out as audio somewhere down the line.
Right.
And
and if you don't have anything else, I've got my sign off that I keep forgetting.
Go for it. Hit him with it.
Never forget, being a jive-ass bitch is bad for your health.
Bye.